Hello and welcome to Dubai Meets Miami. We are here in a second episode that is a new series with Miss Hope. So my name is Ahmad. With me I have Huda. I'm a real estate agent in Dubai from last 4 years and she's doing it couple of years and we are just working together with international markets. So we have Miss Hope with us, and she is international real estate agent. She is super energetic and super excited to work with us. Yeah, you can see that. She will introduce herself
Woo!
more about herself today.
Hi, greetings from Miami. I'm in South Beach. So I think it's Miami meets Dubai also. You have to come
Exactly.
meet us. I've already come to meet you. But it's exciting, I think, because we're the two top markets in the world. And everybody's looking to Dubai and Miami and for different reasons. And that's why we want to kind of educate our listeners on what the similarities are, what the differences are. And we're really not competing. I think people buy in multiple markets if they're building a real estate portfolio. And then geographically, different reasons. You're closer to some Europeans who want to have it as their Hamptons escape on the weekends. For us, sexy Miami, everyone wants to come. So there's a reason for that. But I'll let you kick it off.
Exactly. So we have, I think, this series we will talk about the branded residence, what the branded residents are, what the trends are, and what's this all about, why people are buying, why everyone is crazy about branded residence. So the first question, Huda will start. Yes,
Hi,
Huda.
Miss Hope. How are you?
Hi.
Okay, let's just start. Would you please tell us what branded properties makes more attractive for investors?
Well, I don't know if it's that it's more attractive. I think it's a familiarity. So people, they know what they're gonna get. Even when you travel, you have certain customers, they always stay at a Four Seasons, a Ritz-Carlton, a St. Regis. So that's the quality they like, and that's why even the yachting industry now is doing residences like the Ritz-Carlton and Four Seasons yacht residences. So people, there's that customer that always wants that with no surprises. They like that. And of course, being branded, it could command a higher rental income prices. But of course, the residents themselves are going to start out being more expensive. So we're going to go into the different types of brands, but that's the first one that everybody knows, which is hospitality, and beyond the usual ones we just mentioned. We have all different levels of brands, and you start with Aman, AMAN. It's a Southeast Asian brand, but now owned by a Russian, Vladislav Doronin. But that's a very, very, probably the most elite luxury brand in the world. So we're doing our first Aman residences in Miami Beach. It got sold out before they even put it on the market because, again, they have their followers that like that brand. They know what it is. They want it. There's an Aman in New York at just absolutely insane prices. Um, so it's more, I think, like a familiarity and a comfort factor, and also the quality. They know what they're going to get, a Ritz-Carlton branded, quality and service.
Yeah, exactly.
So going back, flipping it to Dubai, you're also known for luxury. So how are the brands evolving in the past few years?
As we know, Dubai is famous for luxury, and it's been in the past few days, a few years, actually, branded residences become very famous. And we have seen the collaboration of branded residences like Bugatti, Armani, and Lamborghini. And I think um, people nowadays are investors nowadays are focusing on branded residence because they are not just offering a home, because they are offering trust, lifestyle, and global recognition. And also, we cannot deny that branded residences offer them high rental yield, strong resale value, and they have thoughtful design. Because of that, nowadays become well known.
Okay. And
Okay, so the next question I have for you, I think that's a really exciting question as well, and that's going to take us a long time as well. So tell us more about the trends, types of the branded residence in Miami, and I know there are a lot of trends and a lot wider variety of the branded residence there as well. So just you have all the time, so tell us.
well, and again, I'm going to flip it afterwards back to you. So a lot of the similarities. First, we start with hospitality. Oop. Hospitality, and like I said, the usual premium 5-star brands. I mentioned a few, but you have the Mandarin Oriental, you have a Rosewood, we have Viceroy, we have W, and then okay, we're going through. So I'm talking about hospitality first. Here you're getting an overview of all the different brands, so it might be a little confusing. So one of the most unique brands, in my opinion, is called Fiana. And it started in Argentina, in Buenos Aires. I don't know. I think it's coming to Dubai, at least first as a hotel hospitality brand. But there's a visionary, Alan Fiana, and he creates entire communities. And he did that in Buenos Aires. He creates an art district in neighborhoods that need some gentrification. And then he came to kind of a mid-beach region in Miami and duplicated it extraordinarily successfully. So you have a hotel, you have residences, you have a nightclub, you have a lounge, you have multiple restaurants, you have a live dinner theater, they have a private club. So there's always something going within the property and within that neighborhood. He owns usually a few blocks within the community. And now the exciting thing is he's going to take it and make a second Fiana Arts District along the Miami River. And to have two Fiana districts in one city, or Miami Beach and Miami is kind of a big deal. And he is rolling out worldwide. So like I said, you will see it there. So hospitality brands, the 5-star, and then you have funkier brands in hospitality like the Standard. I think you have a Standard, maybe in the Maldives. So the Standard's kind of quirky, funky, hip brand. With a sense of humor. They have a hotel in South Beach. That was the first. Then in Midtown region, they're doing a Standard Midtown. And now they're doing a Standard Brickell in the business district. And then other funky brands like Nomad. So these are maybe a little younger, hipper customer. So that's the hotel hospitality category. Then the designer brands, the Italians always kind of leading the way. We have a Dolce & Gabbana coming, residence. Missoni got finished, the first Missoni building, I believe, in the world that they branded with their name. Diesel, so more of a, fun jeans brand. And then still in the fashion category, we have Elle magazine. And I think you've circled through it, haven't you?
Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, so you've got the fashion brands, then you have the automotive car brands. So I think here we overlap a little bit. Mercedes-Benz brand is coming, Bentley is coming, Aston Martin got completed a year ago, Pagani is coming. Porsche was the first one to lead the way, and something kind of fun, the developer that did the Porsche did it, and also with the Bentley, he created an elevator. So you bring your car into the elevator, a car elevator, and bring it right up to your apartment level. So your car becomes like a piece of furniture and the convenience and the privacy. And next we have restaurant brands are coming along with chefs. So Cipriani is a global brand. They have Cipriani, and then they have an offshoot, the sons or the grandchildren of the Cipriani family, that they're making the brand called Mr. C. There's one in Miami, Coconut Grove, and now they're doing one in Palm Beach, West Palm. We have a chef, Jean-Georges. He's a Michelin chef. I think he has that's him right there, Jean-Georges. I can't pronounce his last name. So he's doing something with his brand, co-branding it with, they're calling it Jean-Georges Miami Tropic. So they'll add restaurant components, private chef, private dining opportunities. Villa Miami, it's not branded by the chef, but there's a chef behind it. It's called the Major Food Group, and one of their brands under Major Food Group is Carbone. So he's Italian. So they'll have, you know, again, the restaurants and the food. And he's gone so far as to add a kitchen that he designs with a very special chef's oven. And we have a Miami brand called Casa Tua, started as a very elite Italian restaurant. And he really branded and grew and added one in Aspen and now New York. So the developers, you know, noticed and they decided to take their restaurant brand and co-brand it. So there's something called Aura by Casa Tua. And then you have the wellness brands are starting to come. There's something called The Well. It's an actual kind of wellness spa institution in New York, and now they've grown around the country and Mexico, I believe. So they're doing The Well, the first well residences. The first one was in what's called Bay Harbor Islands in Miami. And then the second one is going to be in Coconut Grove, The Well Coconut Grove. You know, so all sorts of wellness and longevity aspects right there within your home vertically, so you never have to leave home to stay healthy and live long. Equinox, the gym that's nationwide in America, it started in New York. They haven't come yet, but they're starting to do the first residence. So all these different categories, you know, whatever else could they think of next? I'm not sure. You know, Baccarat, we have a Baccarat, which is a hotel brand in New York, but really it's a crystal brand. And the Baccarat will get finished, I think, next year, downtown Miami. And then it's also interesting, some developers kind of create their own brands. So we have something called the Icon, and they've done so well with that now we have icons all over the place. So there's one in South Beach, downtown Miami, kind of sort of the Edgewater neighborhood. They're bringing it up to Palm Beach. So, and Continuum became an elite brand. It was really based on location in South Beach. We have more billionaires that live there than I think the whole state of Florida in that one building. So now they're doing a second Continuum. So like I said, you can make your own brand. And then there's locations that are brands. So we have Fisher Island, and that is probably the wealthiest zip code in America. You can only access it by private ferry, and no one public can get on the ferry, only residents and their guests that are pass through a security vetting. And so Fisher Island has done many different residences. And so again, their own brand. The latest projects are going to be 6 Fisher Island, and then the mansions at Fisher Island. They've run out of land. It's a little island, I think, I forget, 240 acres or something. And then what I thought might be kind of interesting is we'll go into unbranded, but I'll let you talk about all your brands. But as a good crossover from Miami to Dubai, Damac is coming here to what we call the North Beach / Surfside neighborhood. So it's kind of between Miami Beach and Bal Harbor. And they're doing their first project ever in the US in Miami. And they chose not to take a brand. So I don't know their business decisions behind that, but it's called the Delmore. It's just been launched. They have the Zaha Hadid, the renowned architect. It'll be her firm. She passed away, but they have her sensibility. And it'll only be 37 units with high ceilings, 10-foot ceilings, 7,000 square feet starting space. So they're huge, massive units. And they start at 15 million, which is really the highest starting price point we've ever had in Miami. So it's the moral of the story is that it's not always about the brand, but about what you put into the product itself. And right now, less is more. So buildings that have less units and bigger units and more privacy and more vertically integrated, so people can have their own sense of well-being within their home personal space. So now Dubai, you've got a lot of overlaps, a lot of firsts, that you've done certain brands before we have. So why don't you tell us about all the different types of brands you have and why they're attractive and to what customers?
So it's basically we have a similar kind of brands there. First they are coming here, or they are going there, or first they are going there and coming here as well. But I'm glad to know, like, that the market is coming there, and the market is very renewed and very popular developer here in Dubai. And I think that is the second largest developer, if I can say, in Dubai. It is all the business space by Demak. You go out, you can see every single building is by Demak. But here, Demak is doing a collaboration with brand as well. But now, if we talk about like a brands in Dubai, I normally like do it in four categories. Like, okay, we have automotive brands as well with the cars. Then we have a hospitality and wellness brands are there as well. The third one, we have a fashion as well. And the fourth one, nowadays we can see the luxury watches in the world. They are starting to collaborating with top
Okay,
brands.
yeah. I'm
So
sure
this
we'll
is
get that next. Okay,
yeah.
which watch brand?
Okay, if we talk about from the watch one, starting here, like, there is a Frank Muller. They have collaborated with the one developer as well. And the good thing is, whoever buy apartment in the Frank Muller, they're gonna give them a one watch as well. So
Okay.
you see the branded residency with the branded watch. Then one of the most famous, the Jacob and Co. The building is coming in Business Bay, and also Jacob and Co. done a collaboration with other company. They are like coming with the waterfront townhouses and villas as well. So that is a luxury watches brand. Then if we talk about the automotive brands, like we have a Bentley homes there as well, same like you are going to have, but they are already at almost 50% completed. This one, the Bentley home here. So then we have Bugatti. Bugatti is the fastest car in the world. They are coming, and I think building is almost 30% complete. So every second week, whenever I go there, there's a floor there as well. And in the Bugatti one, whoever gonna buy the penthouse, and he can take his or her Bugatti to the top floor. So they are designing it like that. Then we have a Mercedes as well. Then we have a Lamborghini as well. The Aston Martin is there already. This is all automotive. Then if we talk about hospitality and wellness, like we have a Six Senses here, the Ritz-Carlton is there as well, and Dorchester there as well. So we are doing that as well. Even the St. Regis is coming with a unique concept. They are building a two-tower, 31 floor, 31 floor. But the good things what they are doing, on each floor there is only one apartment.
Okay,
So,
nice.
and it's starting price for the three-bedroom there is a $10 million. And I think that is kind of a super privacy for the millionaire and billionaire. So when they don't want to see, they have their own floor. Then if we talk about the fashion one, then we have a Armani's there as well. We have a Dorchester there as well. And if we talk about even the Mr. C is there as well, the top restaurant. Their building is almost going to complete, and they are on the Sheikh Zayed Road main, overlooking to Palm. So that is there as well. So these are about the brands we have so far. So more gonna come, and more people gonna buy as well. As we can see here, there is a lot of demand for branded residents now.
Okay, interesting. So we have to do some perfume brands. No one's done that yet.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Also, the next thing, go ahead, sorry.
yeah, a perfume left as well. There is too many things left. Even uh, we have some Bulgari as well. The ladies' purse and Prada and these kind of things gonna come in the market. We're gonna see them in the future.
Right. Well, those are still more designer fashion brands. What we do have, it's coming to Fort Lauderdale because we're a little more focused on Miami. I cover what we call South Florida, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Palm Beach. It's kind of the whole East Coast, the tropical area of Florida. And in Fort Lauderdale, which they call the Venice of America because it's just full of a lot of water canals, they're doing the first Riva. Actually, tonight I'm supposed to go to the launch party for Riva, the Italian, the wooden boat, the classic, beautiful boat. So there'll be a Riva residence, they say. They're using the Italian name. And, obviously we'll incorporate some Riva characteristics and style details and the lifestyle because it'll be right on the intercoastal waterway, and it's where we have the biggest boat show in the world, the Fort Lauderdale Boat Show. So I think it's the only thing we have bigger than Dubai, the boat show. We beat out the Monaco Boat Show and then the Dubai Boat Show, at least for the time being.
Yeah,
So
even
we
like
got yachts
this.
covered.
Yeah, that's gonna we're gonna cover that as well. Don't worry. And even on the 25, there is a new project going to launch in Russell Khama. We know where the casino is coming. Is by same company, the Zaha Hadid. So it's gonna be amazing because the design looks awesome. They're gonna reveal more details on 25th, and I will share with you that as well.
Okay, very cool. So what are we going to next? Talking, I think you're going to ask me a question.
Yes. What kind of premium do branded residences command in Miami compared to regular luxury properties?
Well, in terms of price, I mean, they're higher because the smart buyers, or everyone really knows, you're paying for the brand. So they collaborate with the brand and the brand team, and it has to have certain integrity of the brand in terms of style and service. But then you're actually literally paying for the brand. It's just like any licensed product. If you have, like you said, a Prada, and then let's say someone else does Prada shoes, they have to pay a royalty back to Prada. So the developers have to pay a royalty for that partnership with the brand. So that royalty, and it could vary, I don't know exactly the range for real estate, will just be built into the finished price. So that's the premium. There's a built-in premium price for the brand. Then on the back end, when you own the premium brand, you can command, perhaps a better price for rentals because you're renting a Ritz-Carlton or a Aston Martin, residence versus an unbranded. So that's the upside that hopefully you can gain a greater return on the rental income annually. But on the flip side, as we were starting to say, some of the most exclusive buildings coming are not branded. So they're small buildings with very massive units, but the buyers are not looking for rental income. That's, they're probably their 10th home, So when they have this, what did I say? The DMOC is going to start at 7,000 square feet. I mean, it's massive, and 15 million. So they're just, putting another notch in the belt. Okay, let's have another nice place in Miami. And they've already had one, New York and wherever, New York, Paris, Saint-Tropez, Dubai, and now they're spending more time in Miami. So that's what happened post-pandemic, and they want to have bigger units. And for us, it's partially a tax reason. So if they legally, with the government, make that their primary residence, if they're an American citizen, then they don't pay income tax. So that's a big deal. And that's why there's a bigger demand now for these bigger spaces, because they have to spend half the year, 184 days here legally, to benefit from no tax. So that's sort of it in terms of the premium. And back on your side, are buyers willing to pay a premium for the brand? Or is it more about the offering, the location, the amenities of the actual development?
Absolutely. Actually, buyers pay extra money for branded residences. I can say that the prices is higher, around 20%, 30% higher that non-residences properties in the same area. But it's not just about the brand. I mean, people don't pay extra money just for the brand because they have space. I mean, they have thoughtful design, managed services, and a stronger resale value. And also because they offer them global recognition. And also the branded residence is combination of the location, and mostly they are stick to the top tier developers. All go hand in hand, and it cuts that the prices is higher than non-residences privacy, and it's worse for the branded residences.
Okay. Ahmad, anything to add?
Now, normally it is a similar like what you said there as well, because people are just buying. Oh, of course, they have to pay the premium, and you can say is the less units, because whenever the branded comes, they come with the less unit as well. So of course they have to pay the premium here. Okay, so next question I have for you, like in Miami, do buyers prefer branded residence homes or the investment or the rental assets? They buy it just for themselves, or they want to resell it, or they want to make money.
Well, it's all of the above. Every buyer is at a different point, maybe in their personal life and their real estate portfolio investment. So, like I said, there was this post-pandemic big movement for tax reasons. So then it's their primary home, even though they probably have 10 homes. Um, it has to do with price point too. So we have an opening price point for branded at 600,000. You can get a
Mhm.
Mercedes Benz and most beautiful top architect in the world architecture. Not as what's the right word? Crazy architecture like you guys have, all these wild new forms and shapes, but just something absolutely extraordinary for Mercedes-Benz, and you can get in there at a starting point of 600,000. And the key is short-term rentals. So buildings, whether it's branded or unbranded, if they're buying it for an investment purpose, they want to have a building that has the legality to do what we call short term, which means monthly rentals. If there's a hotel component, then sometimes they could do as little as daily and weekly rentals.
Mhm.
So it depends. So you have, maybe a younger investor, they're working in finance and they've made some money, and 600,000 is something they can afford. And, starting at the Tamak building 15 million, they can't afford that. So, or it could be a very wealthy person and then they want to buy a lot of real estate. So they can buy 600K and 10 buildings and spread their portfolio out.
Mhm.
Um, so, that's sort of the gist of it. And then on your side, so are they buying for more for the lifestyle or ROI or both?
Okay, in Dubai, honestly, we have like a both. So some people like coming for the lifestyle, and some just coming for the pure investment and ROI. So it's totally like depend on the profile as well, the profile of my buyer. So I can see like some people are coming from, especially from the USA and from the European countries. They are just coming for the lifestyle because they made enough money in crypto. They have good money, or from the forex people, they just gonna have the tagline with them. Okay, we live in some kind of a branded buildings. So these people are there as well. But if you see, I know some people like they are coming from even Germany, New York, even the UK people. They mostly come. Okay, they said the investment purpose, ROI, because they know that the branded gonna sell very quickly, and the resell going to be very easy, and they can even double their money there, because it's always it's the game of supply and the demand. When we have on the branded one, the less supply, the price always goes high, high, and high. Because I know like the Frank Muller, when they started, the price was different. Now the building is going to finish in a year time, the price is already going up. People already double their money there. So they know that this is going to be a one project. So is the both people are there. Like if there are smart investors, they just invest in the branded and then take the ROI. And if the people want to live, they're retired, these kind of things, they need a tagline with them. Okay, yeah, we live in Dubai, but we live in a branded residence.
Mhm. Okay. So
So we have next
should we talk
question.
about locations or what?
Yeah, are branded residences located in a specific area or district?
Here, it's really everywhere. I would say more in the more populated or popular cities and neighborhoods. But for example, South Beach, there's many branded. Miami has so many different neighborhoods. So you've got Miami, and you've got the Wynwood Art District and the Design District and Coconut Grove and Coral Gables. So they're really, all these places. You have Four Seasons like everywhere, or fashion brand in many locations, like or the restaurant at Cipriani. And even up the coast. So going up, from South Beach, you have Miami Beach, you have Mid Beach, you have North Beach, you have Fort Lauderdale, Pompano Beach, all these towns between Miami all the way up to Palm Beach. They're all starting to get branded. Uh, so it's a matter of gentrification of different neighborhoods. So people got priced out of Miami and they have to move further north where the land was cheaper for the developer. There was more land available. So a town called Pompano Beach is going through a renaissance right now. And they're doing, all the different brands, a Ritz-Carlton and a Rosewood. So people, they're still very expensive, I think, starting 3-4 million, but the same thing might be double in Miami Beach. So it just, yeah, everywhere there's brands. And I'm just talking about the East Coast of Florida. You got the West Coast of Florida. Um,
So
so
where the most expensive ones start from which area? Like, okay, you have specific area, like here,
yeah.
okay, the branded residences are really expensive, and here is okay.
Well, Miami Beach, South Beach / Miami Beach. For those that, most people I'm sure have heard of South Beach, right? When we say South Beach, you kind of know what I'm referring to, or not really?
Yeah, yeah, we can.
Okay.
At
Well,
least our
South
audience can understand that.
Yeah, South Beach is like, became the party place, the beach place, party place, and then it grew up when this Art Basel Art Fair came here. But we have limited space, so we're on the coastline, we're on the beach. So people always preferred beachfront rather than bayfront. Things have changed now for different reasons. The younger generation wants an urban environment, so they want downtown, but before everyone wanted the beach. So the most expensive, and now for Miami Beach, we've kind of hit our high points. So there's something called the Shore Club, and they're with the Auberge brand. It's a co-branded. There was a Shore Club hotel that got known in South Beach, and then they partnered with Auberge. So pre-construction, they sold their penthouse, I think about a year ago or more, for 120 million. And then we've got the Ritz-Carlton a couple blocks south of that, and I think it's around the same price. And then there's going to be a Rosewood in the Raleigh Hotel, which is a very also an iconic Art Deco hotel with one of the most famous pools, Art Deco pools in the world, and they're going to have $150 million penthouse. So we might have talked about this last time a little bit, but we've coined, starting at the Ritz-Carlton Hotel that's now adding a big extra tower for residences, up until they're adding a Bulgari about 6 blocks north. So that area, that 6 to 10 block area now, they're calling Billionaires Row. We used to have Millionaires Row in Mid Beach, but even a billionaire, we're into the trillionaires and the gazillionaire level in today's world. So, and how about locations? Is that important when it comes to brands in Dubai?
Yeah, as you know, that location is a key here. And most branded are located in Palm Jumeirah, in downtown, and in Business Bay. For example, in Palm Jumeirah, we have Six Senses, Dorchester Collection, and all of them are related to ultra-private waterfront residences and very lifestyle driven. And in downtown, we have address branded towers, and also it's a urban luxury vibes. And people have want to have a good view of Burj Khalifa, and also access to dining and fashion. And nowadays, Business Bay Water Canal become hotspot for branded residences, and we have Mercedes-Benz, we have Bugatti here.
Okay. So again, you have different neighborhoods that attract different
Yeah, exactly.
buyers for different reasons. And it was interesting, you mentioned the Address Hotel. I know it because I stayed at a few of them. I liked it so much. I said, why don't you guys come to America? And they were working on it. And I guess it still never really quite happened. But they have a great formula with their brand. I stayed in the Address Marina.
Yeah, excellent. So we have Address Marina, we have in downtown, we have now in even Russell Khama, they are just launched, and the address with the sixth building, they just sold out in one day.
Wow.
That's kind of the thing going on there. So even here we have the price tag as well. Like if you are on the Palm, the price is totally different because I can see some apartment there even 150 million, 200 millions. Even the most expensive one, we have a penthouse in Bugatti building, the top floor, they up for sale for 750 million dirham.
And what is that in dollars roughly, or?
If we calculate right now for your audience, so you
Yeah,
never
just
know, we get an investor from you for this one. This is almost only 205 million.
205 million. Okay, so you're higher than us. We're only up to 150 million. But
Yeah,
in Palm Beach, they're up in the 200 million. So Palm Beach
yeah,
has, a little more extreme price points.
yeah, and even one like a non-branded Burj Azizi is called that started in Sheikh Zayed Road. So that's going to be a second tallest building in Dubai next to the Burj Khalifa. So their top floor is up for sale for 1 billion dirham. Is almost $274 million.
Wow, wow. So
So
who are those buyers? Are they local Emiratis, or are they coming from Europe, or where do you think the end buyer is for those price points?
okay, the mostly like you can see the penthouse people, Asians people are there as well. The tech people or the the is the business peoples, and some people from the Saudi Arabia, they buy these kind of things as well. And but if the Europeans or Italian, owner of the some of the most famous brands, most famous car company, they come and buy these kind of things.
Okay, you mentioned Saudi because that's kind of got my eye on Saudi Arabia because I think they're trying to become the next Dubai, but
Yeah.
I think they need to change their liquor laws if they want to get all the Westerners there.
Yeah,
But you said,
that's what I
yeah,
think moving all the GCC is moving. They want to attract more European and the more people from the USA and Canada. So they're working on their plan and everything because they want to grow.
and so Saudis are buying or have bought in Dubai.
Yeah, they are the big investor in Dubai as well because
Okay.
they are the local developer here. The most people come from the Saudi Arabia, and we have the list like last week, and the top investor here is coming from the India, then the local and GCC, then we have from Pakistan, then we have from Iran, and then after the European people come as well.
How about Qatar? Do they buy in Dubai?
Most the people from the Qatar, they just only buy for the living, not for the investment, because they have
Okay.
over there, they can do it as well. So of course, like all the people from the GCC, they have the houses here, they have the houses over there, so they have houses everywhere.
Okay. Yeah, we just had an interesting event this weekend. It's a little side tangent, but we had the first Arabians horse event where the Arabian horses are on display and they compete based on their physique and their elegance. But it was really a marriage of Qatar meets Miami. So they brought the Qatar and the horses came and part of their culture, but then we had the food and entertainment. So it was really a blend of it was
Mhm.
there. I think it's the first time, I mean, I've been here almost 30 years in Miami, that we're seeing a lot of Middle East, what's the right word, collaboration and integration into the Miami community. And the week before, we had the golf. It wasn't the first year, but Live Golf is, sponsored by the Middle East. So that came, and that was a big golf event at one of the Trump golf courses. And then this week, like I said, it was and Qatar Airlines was there and all the flight attendants. So it was interesting, because also you have a mix of dress codes. Some of the women from Qatar were dressed, obviously, they're more conservative styles. And at least the Miami people, I have to say, I was proud of them. They behaved. They didn't show too much skin. They were respectful for the environment. It was probably the best event really to ever come to Miami. We had Art Basel brought the art world here and the culture, and this brought a sense of elegance and grace. So I think we're kind of merging the Middle East, starting with Miami, because Miami is so multicultural and so open to the outside world. So I think that's going to open our eyes also to help invest, Miami buyers in the Middle East. Like I said, we didn't have a tax incentive because they could just buy in Miami. But I think there'll be other reasons, your architecture that's so out of this world, and, just it's a different life. And when you're in the Middle East, you're in the middle of the world. You hop over to the Maldives or to India. For us in America, all those, locations are geographically just too far.
Yeah,
So,
and even I'm glad we talk about the Trump as well. So we just received a invitation today, the Trump Tower Dubai, the new one going to launch on 29. So we
so is this
already,
brand getting a better value or a worse value? What's happening?
we don't know yet. We cannot say anything yet. Because
But that's a brand. I mean, Trump is a brand. Before he
Trump
became
is a brand.
president, he built a
And
brand with his name.
yeah, and the collaboration with Aldar. Aldar, is the biggest developer in Abu Dhabi, and they already launched there as well. So now they're going to launch in Dubai, and let's see, it's going to be something out of the world. So because they already have a Trump Golf Club here in the Dimag,
Oh, they
so
do. I didn't know that.
they
Okay.
do have it here. Okay, so let's move on to our last question. I think that is
Okay.
going to be good for our investor as well because you have a good knowledge on that. So the question is like, what's your prediction about? Do you think like a branded residence in Miami will continue to grow the luxury market in next 5 years, or what's going to happen?
Well, the 5 years, yes, because even pre-construction used to take 3 years. Now it's up to 5 years because we're also building what's called super talls because there's less space, so they have to build higher, not as high as you in Dubai, but so a lot of projects won't even be finished until the next 5 years. And as we mentioned earlier, there's still other categories. There's more yacht brands and more car brands, and we didn't even hit the watch brands yet in Miami. And luxury jewelry brands. There's a Tiffany and Cartier. So there's a lot of premium luxury brands that have not been tapped yet. And then there's also, a lot of cool hip brands and lifestyle brands, not lifestyle, longevity brands as the population ages. And that's really becoming the new thing, the whole medical infrastructure. So yeah, I think we've got room to grow. And like I said, these other parts of the East Coast that haven't been regentrified, I talked about Pompano, but there's many other towns between Miami and Palm Beach, and then above Palm Beach, and the west coast of Florida. They're starting to try to become a little sexy like Miami and branded. So yes, a long way to go. And how about you guys? I don't know. Is there land anywhere?
No, no, no. If I like say is a personally, is definitely we're seeing it's grow again and again and more as well because the branded residency are quickly becoming a new standard. You know that if every a developer come with an ultra luxury project, he have to involve the brand here nowadays. So it's just a trend now as well. And they're shifting to the luxury real estate, so being more like positions and more like a branded. So buyer here, whenever they come, because they are not like buying just because of they are costing too much square feet. They are just going to buy. Okay, they know they got a exclusivity. Now they have a trust of the developer, trust of the brand as well. And most important, they're thinking like they're gonna get a 5-star services. That's they
Right.
want basically. So, like the brand, we have Bugatti, Armani, Dorchester, Ritz-Carlton, everything. They're giving them a 5-star services. They have a Buttman there as well. The private chef is there as well. So the people are used to these kind of services, and I don't think so they're gonna come down because the demand is going to be high and the production is less. So it's always in the brand as well. So also, these kind of brands, they already won the confidence and credibility as well of their brand. So they I think they need to grow more and more as well. So normally, this segment is becoming basically, I think, is a normal for the luxury real estate.
Well, in contrast, like I mentioned earlier, excuse me, that there are some of the super luxury are going unbranded, like the Demac, where they just created this brand, the Del Mar. There's something
Mhm.
called Rivage in Bell Harbor. So they just opted not to. There's another one called Shell Bay, and they have the most upscale golf course. And that's a little bit north of, let's see, it's kind of, it's north of Miami Beach, about 45 minutes, but they've attracted people because of the golf course. Um, so I'd say it's not all about the brands here. Brands are a no-brainer and a guarantee and easier maybe to sell. So the unbranded has to have a very special story or a very special amenity, whether it's medical and having the top doctors, surgeons, or like I said, the best golf course in America. So, you don't have to buy the branded. You really, like you said, look at the developer. Who are they? What's their track record? How do they deliver? Do they deliver what they promise? Do they deliver on time? And so it's a little bit of both here.
Mhm. So the last question, I know it was not in the list, but okay,
Oh,
as just consider yourself as an investor. So will you go for a branded residence or non-branded?
well, I don't do, even when I travel, that's the best. I will not stay, I shouldn't say never, but I prefer not to stay in a big brand, the big ones, the Ritz-Carlton, the Four Seasons, the St. Regis, because in my opinion, even the Mandarin Oriental, they're the same everywhere you go. So I could be in Shanghai or Miami or Paris or Dubai, and I don't know where I'm at. I'm at the Four Seasons. I'm not at Dubai because they keep the same architecture, interior design, the same rooms, the same restaurant partnerships. I like little boutique hotels, and I usually even prefer one-off boutique hotels, family run. They built something, and they might have, like, I was just in Montenegro last fall, and there was it's called the Forza Hotels. I'll give a little shout out because they did so well. They started baking cakes. They had the best bakery in town. And then they created this Forza brand, and they have little tiny boutique hotels that are magnificent. Then they added a villa, so you can buy the villa, and, for your wedding or celebrities. And then they branded there's a new tram that goes up to the top of Montenegro, probably one of the best tourist things I've ever done anywhere. And it's got a Forza restaurant there. So for me, it's more about the lifestyle, or not even lifestyle, it's about the style. And, the new word that's getting over, it's about the vibe.
Aha.
So it's
Okay,
got
let's.
my vibe, fashion, cool, hip, unique. I like meeting the individual owners.
Mm,
So, like another example, I go to Mykonos a lot. I mean, they don't even allow the brands. Mykonos Four Seasons has been begging to come, and I commend the government that they won't allow the Four Seasons, because then it becomes homogenized. So they have a family, and I met them, called, it's the Maconian Collection. Now I think they're up to 14 hotels. They own about 40% of the luxury market. Each one of their hotels has a different personality, different architecture, different design, different food program, different amenities, completely different parts of Mykonos Island. So my answer is, where would I live? So probably not, I'm sorry, but not in a Ritz-Carlton or a Four Seasons. I might
So
go on the
you're
Four Seasons. What? Go ahead. Sorry.
so
I
you're a
might go on the
non-brand.
yacht, the Four Seasons or Ritz-Carlton yacht. That I would do because it's convenience. I know I'm getting the style, and they're taking me around the world, and then I get off at every port and have a personal experience in that city. The different ports of call. So I'm gonna flip
Okay.
it. Well, how about you guys,
Yeah.
Ahmad and Uday? What do you each like?
What you prefer, the branded residence or non-branded?
I think it's personal, but I prefer. Yeah, if I was able to buy it, yes, go for branded. For example, I like Jacob and Co.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I like to have this experience living there.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's the same. I agree with her as well. Like, okay, if I'm traveling somewhere, we prefer to have. I think you will get outclass services that I experience as well. When you are somewhere in a branded, you have outclass services and everything. And we are in a real estate, so we need to go there as well to find client.
Right. But what do you, Ahmad? Which do you like? Would you rather be in a branded, unbranded, or is it more about the architecture, the location?
Okay, so I need three things. I need a branded, I need a location, and I need architecture as well. So
Okay.
three things is coming in one place, that is the best for me as well. And I think when you are living in a branded one as well, and the services you get, you're not going to get it from the private one because they offer you 24-hour services. So you feel like a king there when you are living in a branded residence.
Okay. But like I said, here you get that and unbranded. If you're on Fisher Island, you get all of that,
Mhm.
private butler services, everything. So, a little bit of everything.
Excellent. So I think we done a very good. This one is very nice for our investor who want to know about branded residencies in Miami and in Dubai and how the Dubai meets Miami or the Miami meets Dubai is going to be a similar like that. And we should carry on these kind of podcasts so investor will get to know more and more about Miami and Dubai.
One last question, because your architecture is so amazing, like mind blowing, the shapes and the sizes and the forms, and they almost defy, gravity and engineering. So I mean, obviously they have to go through a code compliance or something so that to be structurally sound, because how do they build these buildings? The shapes are just so spectacular.
Yeah, they have very, very basically a strict system. Before, when they submit their proposal project to Dubai Land Department, it was approving like very quick. But now they are very strict on every single thing. And whenever like the project complete, even like 5.5% or zero point 0.5 or 1%, 2%, they will go, they do the inspection test, and they will, that is the first real estate market in the entire world. You will get shocked as well. They publish the inspection report online on the website.
Oh,
Everyone can
wow.
see. So
Okay, it's excellent.
whatever they're using with the pictures, with everything, you can see in the applications, okay, this project you invested in, this project is completed how many percent? 5%, 10%, 15%. And the last visit by Dubai Land Department happened when the 5% was completed. And the report of the inspection is public for everyone.
And one other, this is a whole different topic, but I think, it's a benefit or a plus for Dubai. Do you have any natural weather disasters
Like
throughout
if
the
you
year?
think,
Like we have hurricanes. California has forest fires.
no, we only have a hot weather. We only
Hot, the heat.
weather. Yeah, heat wave sometime is there as well. But now they are competing it as well. They make a plan. Okay, after how many years we used to have a artificial, the snowfall, the rain, and everything.
And
But
how about the
last,
sandstorms? Go ahead, sorry.
I said last year we experienced the flood.
Yeah, last
Okay.
year I think 16th of April in Dubai we experienced the flood as well because was the heaviest rain ever recorded in the history of Middle East.
Wow.
So Dubai was closed, but the important part where the people appreciate there as well, how they come back and how they come back, how they clear Dubai in days.
So yeah, the government is just on top of all that. And
Yeah.
you know, we you know, like I said, we have hurricanes, but we're prepared. You know, it was kind of a shame what happened in California and Malibu because they knew and they didn't have a plan. You know, we're very organized, so we know from the weather that what's happening and when, and 99% of the time, thank God, it passes us. I don't know why Miami or Miami Beach is on a certain point geographically that it's in our favor where the hurricanes kind of avoid us, but you know, we never know. It's Mother Nature. And we do have, you know, over time, the oceans are rising and all of us are, you know, that's why we have to, that's another whole topic we can talk another time about, you know, sustainability and climate control, but that's all important for all of us to preserve the planet so our buildings don't decay and don't sink and all these crazy things. But let's end on a happy note. Okay,
Happy.
what's you have any new hot events coming up in Dubai?
Yeah, a lot of events coming on, a lot of launches coming on every week, two, three projects and launch. This time we are seeing first time, like, the more projects are handed over as well, and the more launching coming as well. So every time, like we now have the MR launch tomorrow is a grand polo community. So that's the second polo community by MR. So they
Oh,
are going to launch it tomorrow, and then we have Zaha Hadid going to launch on 25. Then Trump is coming on 29. So
yeah,
launches is every.
endless. I know it's hard to keep up. Same here, and I'm doing more than Miami. I'm doing Miami up to Palm Beach, but we've got next weekend. Like I said, we just finished this beautiful Arabian horse competition, but we have the Formula One, and that'll sort of finish off our high season in Miami. So Formula One is the international. Do they have any teams from? I don't know. Any team owners from Dubai or Middle East for the
I'm not
Formula
sure.
One?
Maybe there's coming, and I'll have to check these kind of things because we are so much busy on even just the real estate launches,
I
and
know.
we don't really cover what's going on else.
Yeah. Well, you have the Abu Dhabi Formula One, so I've been
Yeah,
to that a couple of times, so
was.
that's
Yeah,
pretty amazing.
yeah.
But anyway, okay. Well, until next time, I'm not sure we'll have to think of something else new and interesting to talk about.
Of course, we will come back soon next week with a new topic, new. And if even our audience want to know more about anything, they can suggest us something as well, so we can come with these topics.
Perfect. Okay. Well, thank you because we have this 9-hour time difference or something.
Yeah, it's
So,
almost 9, 10 p.m. here now.
oh, and it's 1 p.m. Okay.
Okay. Okay, then. Thank you very much for your time. We'll see you next time.
Thank you for
Okay.
the
Have a good evening. Thank you. Ciao from
Thank
bye.
you.
Miami.
Bye bye.
Oops.